So here's the scenario. Say you made a video game movie, and by the miracle of the Elder Gods, it was a financial success. So what would be the best course to capitalize on this success? Well, by making a follow-up right away. Which is something I wouldn't know. Oh, I followed up my biggest hit on my channel with this. Trust me, I'm going to make a video on Japanese Spider-Man soon. Just please check out my other stuff. I work so hard! So now you make a sequel to your surprise blockbuster. Now you have to make it bigger and better than the first one. But most importantly, above all else, don't fuck it up. Oops. Well, hey everyone, it's me, a DavKav, your favorite schmuck. And I want to welcome back everyone to Live Action Fighting Game Movie Marathon 2. So Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Talk about dropping the ball harder than a Johnny Cage dick punch. If you haven't seen my last review, which... then you know that I, along with everyone else who saw it, regards the 1995 adaptation to be one of the best video game movies to ever been made. And 2 years later, they put out the sequel. It was much like the first one, they said, but with more action, more effects, and the original director not coming back to the helm for this one, and instead replace him with the cinematographer. Oh, and have Larry Kasanoff, who started this whole sea of MK Media content, go from producer to producer/story writer. Well, let's just dive into this one. I don't have a fancy intro for you guys, so hey guys, I want to talk to you all about Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yay! So the film starts off with a quick recap of the first film, narrated by a dude we have never heard before, about how Liu Kang was the super special awesome that totally made Shang Tsung eat the doo-doo.
Our chosen ones were returned to Liu Kang's home on Earth, only to enjoy a brief period of peace.
We then cut back to the present, where a mysterious portal opens up, as Liu Kang, Katana... wait, who's that? Wait, is that Johnny? Who the fuck are you? Oh my god, the pod people have invaded! Fucking run! So, it turns out the majority of the cast from the first film was replaced with new actors. The guy monologuing in the beginning? That was Raiden. I couldn't recognize him from the lack of raspiness in his voice. So the entire cast, besides Liu Kang and Katana, were recast for different reasons. I.e., some of them thought the script was ass. And of course, the creators tried to shrug it off, with good old Larry stating, if the Batman films can do it, so can they. Which I don't think is a good example of contention. Also, just want to throw this out, if they were that desperate to replace a bunch of actors, they should have just gone all the way and replaced everyone with Don Cheadle. Just saying. Anyway, Outworld soldiers start pouring into the place with obvious green screen effects, as our main villain descends upon our heroes. The ruler of Outworld himself, Shao Kahn. And his generals, Motaro, Ermac, Rain, and bad CGI. Hey, remember when they made an entire suit for Goro? Well, not this time for Shiva! Oh no. Also, Katana's mother, Sindel, shows up. And then this golden line is said.
You're alive. Too bad you will die.
Okay, that was a little weak. But you know what, that's fine. We still got Johnny here. He'll throw out a good one-liner or two soon. Right? So Raiden berates Khan for going against the rules of the tournament, in which the Emperor just talks like a bully from a 90s sitcom.
As long as the portal remains open, your world becomes my world.
And there's nothing you could do about it, dork! So now the two do battle behind probably, you know what, no, definitely the worst green screen I have ever seen put to cinema. You can see the tearing on some of these shots. But as the mighty Shao Kahn is getting his ass handed to him, he then decides to take Sonya and uses her as leverage. But you know what? It's okay, cause Johnny Cage is here! The best character from the last film! Sure, he's played by a different actor now, but that doesn't change the fact that Johnny Cage is about to throw down! And then he... So, Johnny Cage is dead. I am getting some bad omens from this. Then after that, Shao Kahn and his posse decide to pimp out, while he threatens our heroes that he's gonna stuff every nerd here in a locker after he owns the school. Take over the world. And as he's leaving, uses his magic to raise a statue of... Bendy? As now our heroes make their escape to the catacombs. Here, Raiden says that Shao Kahn must have found a way to cross to Earthrealm, and that they need to gather more heroes to their cause, and that Liu Kang must find a man named Nightwolf to get stronger in order to stand a chance against the Mad Ruler. Also, they'll be traveling around the world in giant metal balls in the most awkward positioning, in which they ride chest to chest. I don't know what else to say. We then cut to Outworld, where Shao Kahn is visited by the evil elder god, Shinnok.
Earth is under attack, and it is glorious!
How does that scenery taste, Kahn? Shinnok then asks him if he has finally disposed of Raiden, in which Kahn says, "That loser can't stop me," which in turn causes Shinnok to shift into extreme close-up mode, then calls Kahn an idiot that doesn't know what he's goddamn doing. Cause sure, that's what you want to see in your threatening main villain. Incompetence. So then we cut back to Liu Kang and Katana wandering a cave and about to get their groove on, before they're then cockblocked by smoke. So now they fight. And you know what? The fighting is fine, I guess. The music's pretty dope though. Too bad I can't play it. And you know what? No, I'm not gonna do the mouth noises this time. Not for Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Anyway, the fight carries on until Sub-Zero shows up and freezes Smoke completely, which in turn kills him. So, yeah, bye Smoke. Also, you might be wondering why Sub-Zero is back after being unalive in the last film. Well, that's because this is the original Sub-Zero's brother, who is here to get Katana to Sindel because it will stop Shao Kahn's portals, somehow. But then suddenly Scorpion appears, in which he fights Sub-Zero and kidnaps Katana while saying, "Suckers!" Now you might be asking how he's back after he just exploded in the last film. Well, who cares, because both he and Sub-Zero just kind of leave and never come back. Bye, guys.
You know, it's said if you listen hard enough, you can actually hear the sound of the ninjas getting to their Honda Civic and just peeling out with paychecks in hand. Wait a second, I just made that up for a bit. How in the fuck?
We then cut to Raiden taking Sonya to a facility in order to find Jax, who we see just got special mecha arm implants. Then Cyrax just shows up, so now they fight. And it's here where I have to say that some of the set designs and the costumes are pretty cool. A good amount of these are well made and are probably the best part of this film, with the Cyborg Ninja designs being one of my personal favorites. Well, too bad this is the last we'll see of it, because Sonya manages to beat Cyrax with baking soda, in which causes him to die. Bye, Cyrax! But then a dragon tattoo flies off his body and reveals a predator bomb, in which case it causes our heroes Sonya and Jax to... No!
Looks like we're gonna have to jump!
Today is alright for tonight!
We then cut back to Shao Kahn and his generals with bad CGI shots of Motaro and Shiva, who the two start fighting before Khan enters in and demands a report. Here they talk about how they conquered many realms and also name-dropped Cabal and Stryker, who will never appear in this film ever. So, bye Cabal and Stryker, I guess. Then Shao Kahn bangs the MK symbol and then throws Rain down a fire pit. So bye Rain, you didn't even get to fight in this film. Then we see that Shao Kahn decides to make Sindel one of his generals, as we then cut to Nevada, I guess, as Liu Kang continues his search for Nightwolf.
Ah yes! Vegas! That's where you'll find your legendary man. I actually hear rumors that he resides at the sacred location known simply as Desperado Dan's.
That's right, come on down to Desperado Dan's Murder Emporium in Cracketeria. You'll find a new infection every time you leave. So night falls and Liu Kang finds himself in a burnt down crevice, as he is then attacked by the camera demon from Evil Dead. I mean a wolf. But don't worry, it turns out this CGI demon is actually Nightwolf, who proceeds to berate Liu Kang because... you know what? I don't know. I think it's because he's weak or something? Liu does mention that he won Mortal Kombat, which Nightwolf said, "Those had rules, but this is different." But to be fair, Shang Tsung was a little loosey-goosey with the rules in the end, so... yeah, no, fuck you, Nightwolf. He then tells Liu Kang that he needs to pass 3 tests to unlock his animality. The thing he turned into that is, I don't want to look at that anymore. The first test he needs to pass is Courage, in which Liu Kang must now go into a meth-induced nightmare of some sorts. What the fuck is happening? And then there's the other 2 tests, which... fuck right off and cease to be a thing along with Nightwolf in this movie. Bye, Nightwolf. So Liu Kang then enters a snowy land, where he then meets Jade, who starts to mac on our hero before he says, "Wait, monogamy." So because of that, Jade slaps the man, does a Sailor Moon transformation, I think, and teleports them back to the desert. And now they fight! And Liu Kang wins. That's it. But you see, this was all part of the test, and Jade decides to pimp off to never be seen. No, wait. She decides to tag along and bring Liu Kang to the Temple of the Elder Gods.
Huh, weird. Didn't expect Jade to join the party. It's almost like I'm used to this film just throwing in all these characters and either killing them off or just ceasing to be part of the plot. I'm gonna give her 30 minutes before she either dies or poochies out of this film.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
So then we cut to Shao Kahn's lair, where the Emperor is trying to bring back Kitana to his side, in which she responds by spitting in his face. That's all. Next scene. We're now back at the desert with Sonya and Jax, who start to bicker at each other about the situation they're in. And then Melina shows up, so now they fight. Then Sonya just beats her up and she dies, I guess. Bye, Melina, the biggest fan favorite fighter in the later years? Gone.
Nope!
So Jax punches this thing, which... okay, I'm not wrong to think that this thing looks like the monsters from the Scooby-Doo movie, right? Except maybe looks worse? Then the two make their leave before we then cut to Raiden talking to the Elder Gods in order to ask them for their help. And I mean, they're a powerful gathering of higher beings that govern the universe. Of course they're not gonna help, they're useless, and they're too high up their own ass to actually do something about it until the last possible minute. Seriously, they're just a few glow sticks away from being called the Jedi Council. So in the midst of this, they tell Raiden that if he likes humans so much, Why doesn't he become one? As we then cut back to our two factions meeting up, bickering, then notice that Shao Kahn has shown up, and also Raiden. No! No, what is the budget of this film? 30 million! $30 million! So, Raiden arrives as a human with his Duke Nukem haircut, and learns that his powers are also fleeting. That's gonna be important later, I guess. He then brings the team together with a mediocre pep talk, then opens a portal to Outworld just in time before Sindel could kill them by doing the Sindel thing. Screaming. Now we have arrived in Outworld, where parts of the Earth are starting to merge together with this realm. Which could be an upgrade to Detroit when you think about it. As we then cut to Shinnok and Shao Kahn discussing their plans, and Shao Kahn just brown noses so hard.
All our millenniums of planning will be rewarded. You will be proud.
You know, for being the biggest bad in Mortal Kombat history that no other villain yet has matched his might. Yeah, Shao Kahn kind of sucks in this film.
The movie tries to hype him up as the biggest threat to have ever been faced before. Sure would be cool if we got that. Instead, here comes Shao Kahn, a meat-headed jock with daddy issues who got his shit kicked in the first battle, and had to cower his way to victory before going, "You didn't win," and then just runs away. Plus, he's not even like fun cheesy as M. Bison was in Street Fighter. He's like Vulcan's skull played straight. What else is there to say but...
It's official. You suck.
Ha! Get it? I'm comedically bankrupt right now.
We then cut back to our heroes entering a monastery before they're then jumped by 3 reptiles. So now they fight. And then they all get beaten up by Raiden, by Reptile. The gang also finds Sindel knocked out, so they decide to take her with them. We then cut to Liu Kang sneaking around Shao Kahn's palace in order to rescue Kitana, only to then be confronted by Baraka with... Okay, remember when I praised the costuming? I think I'm gonna retract that statement thanks to Baraka's Spirit of Halloween mask. Anyway, they fight and Baraka is then thrown down a fire pit. By Rain. Baraka. Sorry, I got a little mixed up because they used the same shot of Rain's death for Baraka. 30 million! So Liu Kang saves Kitana, but uh-oh, Shiva has shown up. And then she's crushed by a cage. Bye, Shiva! So now Sindel and Kitana are together again, meaning that they can now close the portals for good. But uh-oh, Sindel is still evil, and says, "That's not how it works, idiot!" Also, Jade is evil too! But don't worry about that, because she then gets killed by the pre-rendered PS1 monster. Bye, Jade! And while all this hump-frump is happening, we learn that Raiden is the son of Shinnok, and the brother of Shao Kahn, which I have checked the lore book, aka the wiki. Yeah, that's some bupkis there. But now everyone shows up for the final battle, as Raiden tries to talk his father out of this, and then he dies. Bye, Raiden.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time once again. Time to watch a bunch of fight scenes back to back. Meaning that I can just lazily describe each one in quick succession without really trying. Which is good because I want to be done with this now!
First match, Motaro versus Jax. Jax gets his shit kicked in by a bad CGI horseman until he unlocks the power of using his flesh arms and wins. Sure, that seems legit. Bye, Motaro. Anyway, second match, Sonya versus Ermac. Sonya literally kicks his ass until he summons... Noob Saibot? And then they beat her up until Jax murders Noob, so... Bye, Noob. Then Sonya snaps Ermac's neck. Bye, Ermac. Third match, Katana versus Sindel. They just kick each other. They just fucking kick each other! But now we get to the final match. Liu Kang versus Shao Kahn. So Kahn beats him up for a few minutes before Liu Kang just...
The hell is that?
What is this Beast War looking bastard doing on my screen? Oh, but don't worry, Shao Kahn does that too. And it looks gross. So now they're just awkwardly flailing at each other with the most choppy CGI graphics, cause this is Mortal Kombat now. This is what it has become. But then the two topple over and Kahn realizes he can lose somehow. So he then bitches at his daddy, who begins to do something before... Oh hey, look at that! The Elder Gods are finally doing something. How convenient. So, Bam Bam Bigelow, Liu Kang wins, Shao Kahn dies, Shinnok turns into cubes, the world is back to normal, Sindel is good because, sure, Raiden is now alive again because, okay, and Bazazzle Bazozer, the film is now over.
That's all I gotta say about Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Welp.
Talk about a mess. So where to start? Well, for one, the movie actually has an opposite problem of most fighting game films in that it has too many fights and too many characters showing up. Like, there are over 20 characters from the game in this film, and the majority of them are just glorified cameos that show up and leave without much fanfare. Not to mention that their fights are just kind of shoved in haphazardly that actually bloats the narrative. Also, speaking of narrative, it's basically on autopilot. The film just goes from scene to scene pretending that there's some sort of progress being made as they go to defeat the bad guy. It's kind of like the equivalent of one of those moving walkways at the airport. It doesn't go up or down, it just moves forward. Not to mention special effects that just take nosedives, CG that made me appreciate how much the first film used it so sparingly, and to add the cherry on top, it's a sequel to one of the best video game films ever made. And it's not even a fun bad film like Street Fighter was. It's just bad. But is it Kazuya's Revenge bad?
God, no!
I mean, I can go back and watch this thing any time or day. Kazuya's Revenge? Never again. But overall, this is just another bad video game film to add to the pile. With the added sting that this came after something great.
Alright. One down, one to go. Next time we return to the streets with The Legend of Chun-Li. I've never seen it. I hear it's terrible. God help me. But until then, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to know when I do a thing or something. Whatever the other cool YouTubers say at the end of videos. But most importantly, enjoy yourself, have a good day, and I hope to see you on the next video. Dingleberries.